What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The Monday Night Raw results are in. BC's got the spoilers for you guys. I am the only one that has these spoilers for tonight's show. All right, that's complete BS. Many people have these spoilers, but nobody talks about it like we do here on the Amped Up Show on the Amplified channel. So that's what we're going to do, man. I have the spoilers for tonight's show. They were taped yesterday in Saudi, a day after Crown Jewel, because they're going on a European tour, I believe, over the next several days. They were already in Saudi anyway. We're going to start to see more and more of this, guys, as Monday Night Raw is now just 2 hours, at least before they go to Netflix. SmackDown is now over on the USA Network, so not as much pressure from Broadcast Fox. You're going to start to see a lot of these taped shows. You started to see several already in the last month or two, and there's many more coming up from what we are being told, especially heading into the holidays. So this is like the new normal, right? They're cutting off all of these live events, but they're double dipping on the live Raws. Afterwards or beforehand, they're taping next week's Raw or next week's SmackDown. So definitely not as fun when these shows are taped. They're barely even decent or watchable when they're live, let alone when they're taped. But tonight is one of those shows, man. I hate to be the bearer of bad news and break it to you if you didn't know. It's taped. BC's got the results. I have the spoilers. You're not going to believe what BS they're trying to dish out on tonight's show. You're not going to believe what they did for the ladies and for the dudes, for number one contenders, for Liv's championship, and for Gunther's championship. You're not going to believe what they did. No more. They don't care about creating a storyline, something fun for the next PLE and for the champion. They don't even have the time anymore. What am I saying? These days, you got like 2 PLEs a month. Several times throughout the year, you're dealing with 2 PLEs a month. You just had one this past Saturday. In a few weeks, you already got War Games Survivor Series. So, I mean, they don't even give themselves time to put together some fun, captivating stories. So I guess all they're going to do is mini tournaments to decide a number one contender, battle royals, turmoil matchups, and an individual just wins the match, and there you go. That's the match that is at the PLE. There's no feud. There's no storyline. You're not going to believe who they chose to be the number one contender and how they're doing it. It was all made official on tonight's show. I got the spoiler for you guys. At least the ladies is a little bit better, right? Like, you can get creative with that over the next couple, 2-3 weeks. But for the dudes, it's a match we've already seen several times in the last few months alone. I'm just going to leave that in the cold open teaser, man. I'm going to try not to rant. I just made a fresh coffee. Folgers, the best spot of waking up. It's Folgers in your cup. Folgers, it's in your motherfucking cup. So I got a fresh coffee, and I'm going to try to maintain the composure when going over these spoilers, but they're that bad, guys. They're that bad. Unless you're really looking forward to New Day and Vikings, or I'm sorry, War Raiders. They changed their names back, so now it makes it that much better. If you really need to see Dragon Lee and Chad Gable, then you're going to be excited for this show. That's all I'll tell you, man. If you're really excited to see Pete Dunne versus Tozawa, that's a real thing. Oh no, that might be on Main Event, actually. I'll go over their taping as well. But that was a match that actually happened. So, guys, I have the spoilers. If you got a little bit, grab your bevies, make a fresh coffee, go get a soda pop from the fridge. But get a bevy, kick your feet up. We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw. If you're catching this before Raw, this is going to be a spoilers results edition. If you're catching this after Raw, well, guess what? It's going to be business as usual. It's like my thoughts and review. So it's not a spoiler to you if you're catching this after Raw. So you ain't got to worry about putting the earmuffs on. Spoilers, no, BC, I don't want to know. Well, you don't got to know. But if you're catching it after the show, then you already know. So depending on when you're catching this, it's either going to be a spoilers results or it's going to be a review and thoughts. All right, sound good? That's your cold open teaser. I'm going to get a big swig of coffee, and we're going to cover all this. I'm not even going to take you guys to an opening signature. If you don't mind, let me just get a swig live in this recording, and we're just going to rock off. That's a spot. Salute. And real quick, too, smash that up if you don't mind. Give that up, that like a super kick. Some sweet chin music. Get it up, though. You got to get your leg right. See, a lot of you guys, you haven't been stretching, right? You're like, BC, I don't even know if I can do a super kick, bro. Well, try to, if you can't, then just clip the knee, right? Just kick the leg out of that like button. The subscription button, put that in a sharpshooter, right? Just lock it in. Go ahead, lock it. See, a lot of you guys don't even know how to put on have you ever put on a sharpshooter? You never had like a younger sibling or a cousin? You locked them in. They start squealing, Ma, the sharpshooter, I can't feel my legs. Subscription, you got to lock that into the sharpshooter. Tap that subscription out, man. Smash the like, smash the subscription, and what's left? Notification. Just hit that with a steel chair across its dome piece, right? The notification bell, just nail it with a steel chair. Hit all the things down below. Show that support to the channel. I really do appreciate it, guys. As much as the tube resists the channel, even though I don't think I'm that controversial. I don't say that many F-bombs anymore, right? But they still don't like to push the channel. BC's a little too wild, I guess. Well, either way, you guys can help out. Smash all the things. Keep BC on the air. Appreciate it. All right, so this is Monday Night Raw, 11/4/2024. This is taped from Saudi. A day after Crown Jewel. Oh, one more thing, real quick. Thank you to everybody who caught that up. A few hours ago, we put up an upload. Swerve's Barroom stable, I guess, right? Is that what we're calling it? He created his little stable if he was ever in a bar fight. And he had to pick several pro wrestlers to be by his side and fight out of that bar room. So he picked 4 dudes. So BC matched them. I picked my 4. A lot of you guys picked your 4 to join you in a bar fight, to whoop that ass and get out of that bar pretty much unscathed. You guys came up with some good ones. Man, there was names like Andre the Giant. I saw a lot of Steve Blackman from you guys. A lot of you guys mentioned Steve Blackman. Good pick. Haku. You know, so clearly there's no parameters. I mean, it's pretty much a wide spectrum. You can pick superstars from the past for sure. So a lot of you guys picked Steve Blackman. I saw Andre the Giant. Haku, as I just said. The ladies, good pick. Zoe Stark, I saw Shayna Baszler a couple, 2-3 times. Obviously Jordan Grace. But yeah, for the dudes, man, I did see a lot of what beats it. I feel like my 4, I would put that up against anybody. Any bar room at any time. My 4 if you saw, you know who my 4 are. But thank you. That was so much fun, guys. I had a completely different topic that we were going to talk about. 5 minutes before recording, I came across that Swerve story. And I'm just like, I had a fresh coffee. I'm just like, that's what we're talking about. And I just switched it because because it's my channel. And I did. A lot of you guys enjoyed that as well. So much fun. I'm glad you guys liked the photo of Jacob Fatu at the bar table. That popped to BC too. So again, guys, that went up just a few hours ago. If you didn't catch it, go ahead. If you did catch it, that's probably one of the funnest uploads we've done all year long for sure. Appreciate that. All right. Had to have a little bit of fun before I talk about this damn show. All right, Monday Night Raw, 11/4/2024. You guys ready? So we start off, I'll give you the main event tapings afterwards. For this Raw, we start off with Liv Morgan. Morgan starts the show, and she states that her revenge tour is over. She's got everything, right? She's got her championship. She's got Dum. She has the new Crown Jewel Championship. Or actually, that's staying in Saudi, but she's declared the best in the world. So she has everything, right? She knocked Rhea on the shelf, right? Rhea is on the injured reserve list at home rehabbing. Broken face. I mean, what else is left? She got Dominic. She put Rhea on the shelf. She's got multiple titles. I mean, her revenge tour is done. No more revenge. So this brings out Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to the ring. Words are spoke between the three. It's weird, right? I mean, these are tag title holders. If you want a shot at Liv Morgan, split. Not much more you can tell. When you lost the titles to Alba and Isla, that was a good time to just call it quits. But we all know Hunter would never actually do that. Hunter has no plans for Jade and Bianca. That's pretty. They'll be waiting till next year's Christmas before Hunter even has a semblance of a plan for Jade and Bianca. But they come to the ring and they're having words with Liv. I mean, this is what I mean. This is Hunter's booking to a T. This is what I've been preaching for months and months since the dude's taken over. This is his booking. It's like every show, every moment, he's just chucking baloney at the wall, and where it lands at name-wise is who he's going to have in matchups and in segments. Just weird matchups like friend versus friend, Kevin versus Cody, or Randy versus Gunther, even though Randy's on the other show, but we'll bring him over to Raw. We'll act like nothing is out of the norm. What? He's a SmackDown star, so what? Bronson versus Gunther, heel versus heel. You have a heel group, Sonya's heel group, coming back to Raw, or forming and then debuting on Raw as a group. Sonya and Zoe and whoever the third one was. I can't even think. They're that irrelevant. I can't even think who the third one is. But they came in to beat up heels Damage Control because they were heels as well. So why are the heels debuting to beat up heels? So then those heels, Damage Control, quietly turned face. And they went into a feud with other faces, Bianca and Jade. But then why did you turn Damage Control faces to face faces? It doesn't make sense. But this is what he does. And then he hotshots Cody and Gunther on just 3 weeks' notice. That gets rushed to Saudi Arabia when that should have been a multi-month feud and storyline. To put a toy title on the line and see who the best in the world is. Everything ends in handshakes. That's another story. That's probably going to be a separate upload this week at some point. This is the booking that he does. He just chucks baloney at the wall, and that's how he creates his shows. And you just have Jade and Bianca out there with Liv Morgan, because sense, yeah, that's what it makes. Said nobody ever. So then Adam Pearce comes out. Adam Pearce just declares a multi-woman battle royal, and that's how we're going to determine Liv Morgan's next challenger. Battle royal. That's it. That's it. Every single month we do these with all the titles. It's not just the tag titles anymore. It's the US, it's the IC, it's the world titles. We have no more time to dedicate to actual storytelling. We have no more time to dedicate to feuds. Setting up a number one contender and a champion the old-fashioned way, through a feud. Somebody attacks the champion or starts something with the champion, and they're relevant enough to believably be the number one contender. So it all just works together, right? Two birds with one stone. Instead, we just win these weird schmaz matchups, and that's supposed to get people excited. That's supposed, right? Candice LeRae can win a 20 women battle royal out of nowhere, and that's what's supposed to get you excited. Candice versus Liv Morgan. What do you mean you're not excited? Candice just won a battle royal. That's so intriguing. She now gets to go for the championship. What do you mean that's not fun? What do you mean it's heel versus heel? Who cares? Candice and Liv. So what? You're telling me you're not intrigued, you're not anticipating, you're not excited for this? No, we're not. These matchups are so weird. They're so random. Now, Candice is an example. She did not actually win this. Adam Pearce makes this battle royal. It's impromptu, and it happens immediately from what the spoiler sheet says. And Io Sky wins this match. Io. Now, that's why I say I have a little less of a problem with the women than what they did with the men on tonight's show, and we'll go over that soon. But for the ladies, at least, Io Io separately and then Io versus Liv, I can work with both of that because I put Io on such a pedestal. As I do Liv, by the way. I just want proper booking for Liv. Liv Morgan is it's that tweener booking that is going to be a detriment to her and people like Braun Breaker and Gunther. Right? Where you don't know what you're doing with Liv. Hunter doesn't know what he's doing with Liv Morgan. I'm telling you, over time, that's going to be a detriment. She's supposed to be a heel. Look what she did to Rhea. Look what she did to Damien. Stealing Dominic Mysterio. Doing all the dastardly trickery and schmozzery and the dastardly deeds. And then all of a sudden, she's taking on another heel at Crown Jewel, Nia Jax. So the audience is like, I think we like Liv more, right? They're both heels, so everyone's kind of confused. But then people like Tiffany, she's associated with Nia. So everybody was just like, what are we doing? There's not even a face in this whole thing. And then Raquel was down there with the Dominic at ringside. Everybody involved in that whole match and segment for Crown Jewel, they were all heels. And then afterwards, Liv wins. She gets the ring. I don't know if you guys saw that after Crown Jewel went off the air, but they got a ring from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. They get this giant toy title. It's atrocious. Looks like a giant toy that's going to be sold in aisle 5 of Target. And that's Liv Morgan, man. Like she's crying and like it's a sentimental favorite at that point. You want to be like, oh man, I'm so proud of Liv. I love Liv, right? But she's a heel because of everything she's done. So why book her in that position? It's weird. It doesn't make sense more than anything. It's going to confuse your audience. It's so odd. But that's how they booked Liv. It's like Braun Breaker. They don't know what they're doing with Braun. He's supposed to be a heel. He loses his title. He shakes Jey Uso's hand. And they ask where the dogs are at in the arena, and he walks away. And I think Hunter thought, okay, you're going to be a face now. Then Hunter changed his mind. The very next week, he just has Braun Breaker beat up Jey Uso. But they still had Braun Breaker ask where the dogs are at to bark, right? He's pandering to the crowd. Why do that? You're not just being a detriment to Braun, but to anything that he could be, because the audience is confused. Are we cheering Braun? Are we not? Because he's doing heel stuff along with face stuff, but then he's asking about the dog, so he wants us to bark. Right? It's almost like yeet. He wants us, he's pandering to us so we can cheer for him. So why would you... Gunther, he talks all this jazz. He should be one of the most... He is, if booked correctly, one of the best diabolical heels in the business today. But after every match, he just shakes all the top faces' hands. He shook freaking Randy Orton's hand a month or two ago in Berlin. Got done, talked all that crap to Randy, and then shook his hand. That's another story. Why is Randy shaking his hand? But Gunther just shakes his hand. Saturday, after Cody beat him, Gunther shakes his hand. Basically, he's an honorable champion, man. That's not how you should book Gunther. He's too good. He's a diabolical heel. You can't go from people like the Harley Races and such and the Sergeant Slaughter's 91 Gulf War, that Sergeant Slaughter, to the cerebral assassin Triple H and the Van Vaders from back in the day to nice guy Gunther. Let's shake hands after every match because I'm an honorable champion, a respectful champion. I'm all about who's the best in the world. This isn't college wrestling, guys. Wrestling will never last if this is what we're doing. I was going to put all that in a separate upload later this week. I still might, but that's just the truth. Hunter's booking is downright atrocious, not just to fans, to the talent. It is detrimental. He is literally just crushing the fundamentals to which pro wrestling was founded upon. The mere foundation of pro wrestling is now being kind of deconstructed. And once you take that away, the simplicity of pro wrestling, you're taking away its fabric. It's going to be left with nothing. And they can lie to themselves and say this is the best era of pro wrestling ever. Pro wrestling business is booming because WWE's making a lot of money. They can lie to themselves, but this would end up being the worst era of all time. It would put it up there with the right before the Attitude Era, the Godwins and the Slop and all the gimmicks, right? The Goon. It would be up there with all that. You know what? I prefer that more than what I'm seeing today. because I don't even understand the booking today. Liv Morgan, and so that's a whole side spiel, man. Io Sky wins this battle royal. I'm good for her. Take that W. And now you have a couple 2-3, unless they do like next week they're gonna have the match. I doubt it's even gonna be at Survivor Series, actually, knowing H. Or if it's planned that way, he'll probably move it. But Io versus Liv Morgan, at least I can work with that. I just wish that we started a feud from the jump and not just have her win a match, and that's the foundation of the story. That the feud stems from Io winning a number one contenders match. All the titles are that way these days. There's no more real feuds that start with a spark. It's always somebody wins a damn number one contenders match. And then we got to try to tell a story after that. Grab a microphone and let's talk some trash. You guys know BC's right, man. You guys know we should be doing better. You know it. And that's the most frustrating thing is if we're being honest, we all know that's truth. Everything I am dishing right now is nothing but amplified facts. And when we get to the dudes, it's even more amplified. But that's how we start this show. Morgan, Jade, Bianca, Battle Royal is set up. Io ends up winning this thing. All right, moving on to some of the side matchups for tonight. The War Vikings defeat the New Day. That's right. Did that excite you? Did you have to watch this now? No, but BC, I have to now because they changed the Viking Experience's name to their old name, BC. They're the War Raiders, so now they're relevant. No, they're not. The name change is nice. It's a start. Some W's, okay. But do they mean anything? Do these W's matter? Are they going to be issued in a storyline that we care about? Is this just leading to like Xavier having more turmoil with Kofi? That seems like it started 95 months ago. Maybe. The War Vikings defeat the New. That's what I put, by the way. I put the War Vikings defeat the New, just because I got to amuse myself half the time when talking about these shows. So I put War Vikings. That was just me just having fun. I did think that when I talked about it on the recording, I would call them the War Raiders, but like Ron Burgundy on the Anchorman movie, like I pretty much read what's on the teleprompter. So I just said the War Vikings defeat the New. Who cares? Cares what their damn name is. I care about the booking more than the name. Sami Zayn and the Usos have an intervention and officially reunite, so they get on the same page. Saturday, they were all bickering because Sami accidentally took out their tribal chief. And now Jay, Jimmy, and Sami looks like they hug it out tonight. So if you guys are into a big hug, Daniel Bryan Kane status from back in the day. Hug it out. I don't know if they actually hug it out. I just saw that they kind of officially reunited. Then Dragon Lee defeats Chad Gable. Rey Mysterio with the assist. I'm going to say that again because this is what we're getting on a Monday Night Raw. Weeks before War Games Survivor Series. Dragon Lee defeats Chad Gable. An assist from Rey Mysterio. This is a hot take, and I don't even care because it's a real take. I'm dishing nothing but truth, as I always do, but especially right now. In this upload, Rey Mysterio could not be any more irrelevant to BC, and that's sad. I have so much respect for the dude. His booking is so damn lame. The LWO or the who do they have? The LWO and LDF, all of them, Raw, SmackDown. It is all as lame and as boring as imaginable. And if you're telling me that Dragon Lee is defeating Chad Gable, and the only reasoning for that, because there is no good explanation as to why Chad Gable, one of the best wrestlers on the planet, who has never, to this very day, been given the real opportunity to be one of the best, most legit superstars in that company, which he should be. Tonight, he's losing a match to Dragon Lee because Rey Mysterio interfered. And I'm guessing Creed Brothers and the rest of LWO were out there. Well, damn. Now we have to tune in. What are we going to see next? We're going to see Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable in the future. But BC, don't worry, man. It's going to be a good wrestling match. Good. We get to see another good wrestling match because we don't have enough of those. Like, if you know you're taping a show and there's going to be spoilers out there, wouldn't you want to make it sound so damn good on paper? Dragon Lee beats Chad Gable thanks to Rey Mysterio. All three of them could not be any more irrelevant than they are right now, sadly. Damien Priest then wins a fatal 4-way to become the number one contender for Gunther's championship. I need another swig. Nope, I need another one. Did you just hear what I said? I said Damien Priest wins a fatal 4-way to become the number one contender for Gunther's title. Now, several ways we can start off here. Number one, for the ladies, we just did a schmaz, right? We put a bunch of ladies in there. We called it a battle royal. Whoever wins, there you go. Because Adam Pearce cannot be bothered to come up with an actual number one contender. So he's going to throw everybody in there like he always does with tag titles, with US titles, with world titles, with IC titles. He's going to just throw everybody in there, and that's how we'll come up with Liv Morgan's number one contender. And for the dudes, let's just throw 4 dudes in there. I don't have the time to pick up a number one contender. Let's just put in Damien. Let's put in Seth Rollins. I don't even know who the other 2 are. I know Seth Rollins is in there because after Damien wins, Bronson Reed jumps Rollins, and Bronson puts Seth through a table. Maybe it's the commentary table. I don't know. But if you we just saw that at Crown Jewel, right? We just saw Seth versus Bronson. Bronson saved face because he took 3 stomps and he stood up afterwards. You don't need to see that again, not for a long time. So why continue it? It can't lead anywhere, but now Seth loses, Bronson gets a win back, and then you have to have a rubber match. It's so redundant. Everything is the freaking same for Hunter Hearst Helmsley. There's no originality. We just see the same matches over and over and over, and that's supposed to be the storyline. He beat me, I gotta beat him. Oh, I beat him, now we're 1-1. Mello and Andrade, Yeah, Mello and Andrade. They had 845 matchups the last 2 months alone. Do that Steiner math. So we just set up a 4-way, and that's how. That is supposed to get you excited. Whoever wins this match, now you have to. You just can't wait to see the winner of the fatal 4-way take on Gunther. That's not a spark. That's not how you start a feud or a story or a title match progression. And you guys know that. They have gotten so lazy with what they do. So, Damien wins this match. But you see, I feel like I recently saw that, but maybe I didn't. No, you did. You saw this match 4 times since just a few months ago, starting in August, guys. You saw this 2 televisions, right, or a pay-per-view, SummerSlam, I believe. You literally saw this match at SummerSlam. I think Gunther was the one to take the title from Damien, wasn't he? So you just saw this a couple months ago. Then you saw it a few weeks afterwards on SmackDown. So you actually saw this on live TV as well. And you also saw it if you were touring around the world. There was a couple of live events that you saw this as well. They promoted them, big live events. Super shows, they call them. So whether it's TV, pay-per-view, live events, you've seen them several times in the last couple of months alone. So let's just pick Damien. We'll do it again. Don't worry. The audience won't say anything because they'll just say H is cooking. They're going to say how Damien deserves another chance at it. Damien Gunther, part 5. It's going to be good, BC. Maybe they'll make it a best of 7, like Andrade and Mello. Yeah, that's what I want to see, man. Gunther and Damien 7 times. I didn't want to see it the first time. Definitely didn't want to see it the second time. We'll keep seeing it because from what this is, I'm going to tell you guys how I originally go over the results sheets when I first read them, because I know I'm going to do an upload for you guys, right? I'm going to dedicate an amped up show for you guys to Monday Night Raw spoilers or SmackDown spoilers. So I do my due diligence. I make sure they're verified, twice verified, by the way. Once they're double sourced, double verified, then I put together my notes and we go we go with the record. Or we start recording. And I always do this. I always go over them and I go, this can't be right. I go over the results pages and I say, this can't be right because it's so bad, on paper anyway. And then I immediately think, well, maybe it'll be better on TV than it is on paper, right? So I give the benefit of the doubt. And then I simultaneously think maybe these are just wrong. Maybe I'm telling my audience a completely just wrong version of what happens tonight. Like, we're going over everything and it's not what happened, right? Even the verified sources got it wrong. But it's never the case. It's always exactly as it was verified. It's exactly as we talked about. And usually it's not any better played out than it was on paper. But I always do the same thing because on paper, they're so bad that I think it can't be right. This has got to be wrong. Or I just give the extreme benefit of the doubt and I go, you know what? This has to be played out better than what I'm reading. But when you see Damien versus Gunther again, there's no saving this crap. There's no defending this crap, right? There's no H's cooking. No, if he was, check on the kitchen because it probably already burnt down. He'd find a way to burn ramen noodles. And I'm talking about the microwavable ramen noodles. You know, you fill it to the cup line and you pop it in for 3 minutes. Yeah. He'll screw up cup of noodles at this point. H is cooking. Damn, don't let that dude put on an apron and get in your kitchen because I'm telling you right now, he's going to burn it down. And I ain't talking Rollins status. This booking is so detrimental. It is so repetitive. It is confusing. It is nauseating. I don't even know. You almost get at a loss for words, right? And as somebody who runs a podcast, somebody with the gift to gab and hopefully entertains you guys throughout, for somebody to be at a loss for words like that, like I can get over Hunter's booking, that tells you something. That tells you how bad it is. And you just see Liv Morgan getting that ring, and I'm so happy for her. You're proud of her, especially on this channel. We always put her up on a pedestal. When a lot of the industry turned their backs on Liv with the whole Ronda Rousey thing, and it just felt like everybody was like, all right, enough Liv. We didn't on this channel, man. We kept supporting, and I just felt like Liv was getting better week by week, month by month. But to see her in that position, getting the ring and in tears and hugging Cody Rhodes, after all the dastardly deeds she is doing on TV, it doesn't add up. Like, a face should have been in that role. It's all predetermined anyway, right? You didn't actually become the best wrestler on the planet, right? The ring and everything, it's part of the show. You earn it though. You all these the sweat and the tears and the mileage you put on the road and on your body, right? It's a lot of hard work. It's dedication. So you're earning all of this in the process. The championships, they mean something. The rings, they mean something. I get it. But I mean, she didn't actually become the best in the world by beating Nia Jax. So here she is in tears getting this ring and hugging Cody Rhodes. But what about all the heel things you just did? Hunter just always just exposes the business any chance he gets. That's what has to stop. We understand the illusion. We understand it's a magic trick. We understand it's not, quote, real. It's predetermined, it's fixed, and all of that. But every single moment this dude gets to break a character or talk about the behind the scenes of the business, he jumps on it. It's like he's just one of the biggest interweb machine marks imaginable, and that's gotta stop. You have to be a legit promoter. Stay behind the scenes, stay as the dude behind the curtain in Oz. It's just so weird, like just watching Liv in that. I mean, one part of it, you know, the smark in us all. We're all like, yeah, man, what a moment for Liv. But then you're like, what the? And now we're just snap of a finger supposed to get back into, you know, character progression. Oh, that's Liv now on Monday night. It's back to the dastardly deed. Heel. Little things, guys. Little things. Gunther, and you know, talking all this crap and being this like dude you just want to like, you know, throw a cup of soda at his dome piece. Old school NWO, Bash at the Beach. Just friggin' this pompous, arrogant character, and then he just shakes everybody's hand after his matchups, whether he wins or whether he loses. He shakes all the top babyfaces' hands. Why do we have to do that, man? This isn't college wrestling. It's just not. Is that supposed to show us that we just saw an awesome athletic competition? But you see, they're treating it like it was a real athletic competition, man. Hunter's WWE, he treats it more like it's like collegiate wrestling, like we're trying to find out who the real best is. Good luck with that. Good. I assure you, that's never why I fell in love with pro wrestling. It's never why I will stick with pro wrestling. I assure you, I was never watching to see who the best in the world is. Don't overcomplicate this. Good guy, bad guy, story in a feud. Captivate us. Take out our wallet. We'll pay you. We'll whip out the credit cards. Whatever you need. We got to see this story culminate. We got to see these two collide. It's not that hard. If I want like an athletic bout or something, you can watch boxing, mixed martial arts. There's many I'll watch fencing. There's many things we can watch and partake in, but that's not what pro wrestling is. It's predetermined, all planned. It's mapped out. And this is just this is it, man. You're going to wait 2 hours tonight to see Damien Priest. That the match is going to be set up. And when we went off the air, in case you guys don't know, Damien Priest and Gunther had a stare down to end the show. That's what it says in the verified notes. Now, they could change things up. Maybe something else ends the show. But both verified sources for these spoilers believe that that's how the show ends. Gunther and Damien stare at one another. We already did that going into SummerSlam. We already did that weeks afterwards. We already did this. So no, sorry not sorry if a lot of us are not going to be too into this trash bag of a match. Because that's what it is. Hey, when it's all said and done, maybe Gunther will shake the hands of the... was it he who called him street trash? I think it was Gunther who called him that, right? Now, did they shake hands after SummerSlam? I don't think so. He shook everybody else's hand. Randy, Cody, Hunter. But after this one, they'll shake hands. Mutual respect era, right? We went from the Attitude Era to the Mutual Respect Era. Stone Cold stunning his boss and then dousing him in a beer bath, to Gunther shaking all of the babyface's hands. And the wrestling business is booming, according to Cody Rhodes. That's what I got for you guys. Raw 11/4/24, the official amped up spoilers for tonight's Raw. Until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC in the unit saying, check you deuces. Salud.